In a small village lived a girl whom everyone looked down on. She was overweight, had dark skin, a few spots on her nose, wore an old floral coat every day, and never cared much about her appearance. Her hair was always messy, her house was untidy, and she seemed to spend most of her time sitting in the sun doing nothing. The villagers believed she was lazy and useless. They often mocked her, saying that no one would ever want to marry someone like her. But to everyone's surprise, the most handsome and hard-working young man in the village chose to marry her. He ignored all the beautiful and hard-working women who wanted to marry him and moved into her old house instead. The villagers couldn't believe it. "He's making the biggest mistake of his life," they whispered. "She doesn't cook, she doesn't work, and she only knows how to sit around." When the young man arrived at her house, she didn't even bother to welcome him. Without saying much, he cleaned the house, swept the yard, repaired broken things, cooked meals, and worked in the fields. Meanwhile, the girl simply sat quietly and watched. One day, the young man planned to plant mung beans. The girl calmly told him, "Don't plant those. Grow a special fruit instead. The supermarkets in town pay a much better price for it." Trusting her, he followed her advice. After a few weeks, a severe drought hit the village. The land dried up, crops began to die, and every farmer struggled to save their fields. For the first time, the girl stood up and walked into the farm. She dug shallow trenches between the rows of plants and covered the soil with dry grass. The villagers laughed at her, thinking she had lost her mind. But a few days later, rain finally arrived. The grass kept the moisture in the soil, and the trenches helped the water spread evenly. While many farms suffered heavy losses, their crops stayed healthy and green. When harvest season came, the villagers rushed to sell their produce to middlemen at very low prices. The girl stopped her husband and said, "Take the best quality fruits directly to the supermarkets and jam factories in town." He did exactly as she suggested. The supermarket managers loved the quality of the fruit and signed a long-term supply agreement. Soon, the jam factory also placed regular orders. Their harvest sold out quickly and earned far more money than anyone else's. Later, the girl encouraged the other villagers to sell their produce the same way. Before long, the entire village began earning better prices for their crops. Only then did everyone realize the truth. The girl had never been lazy. She simply refused to waste her energy on unnecessary work. She believed that using intelligence was far more valuable than using brute strength. From that day on, no one laughed at her anymore. With her wisdom and the young man's hard work, they transformed not only their own lives, but also the future of the entire village. If you want to know the rest of the story, like this video and comment Part 2.